Honestly, my first thought was like, are you serious? Like, are you for real? So it was just the most insane feeling to get that diagnosis.
Model and student Kendall Chrisman from Riverside, California, is living with one of the most inconvenient allergies there is. Her symptoms started at 13.
Getting out of the shower was the worst part. That was the first thing that really started affecting me a lot. I just became really itchy, and I was really trying to figure out what it was. For a very long time, I just thought that I just had dry skin, that maybe I wasn't moisturized enough, so I was putting on all of these lotions and moisturizers that were actually making it worse. Okay, well, I chalked it up to dry skin and left it at that.
Her symptoms worsened over the years and were heightened while on her college's water polo team.
Once we got into swim season, it started getting way worse progressively, and it wasn't just on my legs anymore. It was starting to affect like my upper body, my arms and stuff. This is really affecting like my livelihood and what I do and how I do it.
She went to a dermatologist for answers.
He left the room for a bit and then came back and basically was just like, this is gonna sound insane, but you're allergic to water. Genuinely thought that he was like joking or something, and then he kind of kept explaining it, and even the nurse that was in the room with him was shocked. Like, she had never even heard of it before. They had never diagnosed anybody in their office with it before. My condition is called aquagenic pruritus. Like, my skin, it feels to me like bees are stinging me on the inside, or like I've been, rubbed down with like stinging nettle, like that sort of a feeling at its worst. At its least, it's more of just tingling, kind of how you feel when your limbs have like fallen asleep. Other people can't tell that I'm having an allergic reaction. And to the outside eye, it really does just look like I'm like going insane when I'm out of the shower and stuff like that. I'm just constantly itching my skin, itching my scalp, like basically perpetual itching is my life now. Basically everything except for my hands and feet are affected. My lips, not as much as everything else. I just get a little bit of a tingle sometimes, but for the most part, it's totally normal.
Aquagenic pruritus is intense skin itching that occurs when water touches your skin, according to the Cleveland Clinic.
Everything that I'm allergic to stems from not only like showering, but all the way out to different like natural bodies of water, including lakes, oceans, pools, rivers, etc., rain, humidity, and then all of my own bodily fluids. So sweat, tears, urine, all of it.
After getting diagnosed, she continued to play water polo.
And I was already committed to it. That was already something that I knew deep down, like, whether or not I'm allergic to water, I'm gonna finish this out. It was pretty brutal. It was a lot of talking with my coach, just being like, hey, you have to take me out of the game. Like, I have to get out during practice and just go and calm down for a second, like cool down. Yeah, it was rough for a while. Every single person that I've told that I've met, their immediate first thought is, haha, you're joking, right? And then the next first thing is, how do you drink it? Like, how are you alive? And so many people, I get, the same questions every day.
Thankfully, drinking water isn't a problem.
I can drink it. Still alive, stay hydrated.
But liquids on her skin are where the trouble begins, and every type of liquid or body of water affects her differently.
Things like pools and hot tubs, things that have a lot of chlorine in them, usually I've found that those affect me the least. Natural water, so like lakes and rivers, those are like a step up from like showering and that kind of stuff, but they're not, terrible. Salt water, I've found, really affects my eyes specifically. like my eyelids and around my eyes, I will get out and basically not be able to open my eyes for the next, 20, 30 minutes until they're able to get the reaction down. The next worst thing is going to be my own sweat. It's one of those things that out of all of it, it's the one thing I can't avoid. I'm constantly gonna sweat and do all of these things, so I just have to be very conscious about wearing breathable clothing, not doing too much excess activity if it's too warm outside, even down to the way that I'm sitting. I usually don't have, my legs crossed or like my arms crossed or anything like that, because my skin interacting with itself is just getting warm and it's sweating, and then I'm itchy for the rest of the day. I would say that rain is like the second worst thing for me. When it's raining, I basically hide inside unless I absolutely have to go out. And in those scenarios, I'm wearing like a full rain suit. I have like snow pants on, full jacket, like face covering. Yeah, it's kind of insane. And to a lot of people, they're probably like, that's a little bit much, but it's I got to do what I got to do.
The worst thing for Kendall is showering.
Between the water itself and then also the steam and the air that comes off of that, so then you have the humidity also in the air, and then it gets so painful to the point where like I'm hot, I'm sweating because I feel like I'm burning up. So now we have three things, hitting me all at once. And then if it's really painful, I try not to cry, because if I start crying, we got four now. So that would be my ranking.
But because not showering isn't an option, she's figured out a system.
So many people are like, so do you not shower? And I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, what? Like, no, I'm not walking around here like so dirty. Like, no, you can't smell me from like 500 feet away. Like, I don't know.
I'm happy to report that despite this condition, she does still take showers. Look, she has her own bath towel and everything.
I will separate almost every step of my showering routine. But I do dry shave, just try to make it as quick as possible. So it's really more of like me jumping in there, and then I kind of just soap up. I'm, doing all the things, and then I'm like, okay, let me rinse off, and I'm out, because I can't be in there for too long.
In her gorgeous hair, it's a struggle to wash in style.
So to start off, I'll usually take 1 or 2 ibuprofen and then pray that my lower back is having a good day, because as you can see here, I'm folded completely in half.
I usually wash my hair completely separate, just because that in itself takes a good 30 minutes. Like, I shampoo twice, and then I condition, and then I have to do all my products, and I have to detangle, and it's just a lot. So it's so much easier to just not have the rest of my body on fire while I'm doing it. I've been getting a lot of people telling me that, why don't you shave your head or cut your hair really short or anything like that. And I'm like, I don't think you understand the amount of work that I put in to get my hair to be this long in the first place, okay? It's something that I don't want to give up, so I'm just not going to.
There's no cure for aquagenic pruritus, but Kendall can sometimes get temporary relief.
Sometimes if I plan on showering on a day that's already been super humid, so I've already been reacting to my sweat and the humidity and all of that, I'll take like Benadryl. Not because it necessarily helps with the reaction itself, but because it knocks me out like a light. Like, it's just so much easier to go to sleep and wake up and not have to deal with the reaction.
She has a good sense of humor about her allergy, but can get frustrated about it.
Although the universe continuously plays in her face, Kendall is still able to thrive and live life.
I try to joke about it, but it is frustrating, especially when I want to do things with people. I want to go out or something, and I just constantly have to be thinking about all these things that not a lot of people have to think about. That has been a really big mental strain. I try to make the most of it. I try not to get too in my head about it, just because it's something that I genuinely can't control. I kind of cut down actually going in the ocean. But I still try to give myself some leeway and some time to still be able to enjoy that type of a thing, just because before all of this and before my symptoms, I was always a water baby. I love being in the water. That's why I did swim. That's why I did water polo in the first place. Any body of water, I was immediately in it. And then for hours, and then my parents would have to like drag me out. So I try not to lose sight of that.
Because there isn't a lot of research on her condition, Kendall uses social media to spread awareness.
I decided it was more just to get the exposure for it. One day I was like, okay, today's the day. Like, I'm just gonna make a video about it and we'll see what happens.
She's focused on going to aviation school and living as normal and dry as possible.
So far, it's only gotten worse, but I am still hopeful. Especially, I've gotten a lot of people reaching out to me and saying that after a certain number of years, it just kind of went away, or that once they had, big hormone changes like having children or something like that, that it's gone away as well. So I'm really still, I'm trying to stay optimistic and holding out hope that eventually, hopefully I can go back to living a normal life.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.